Don't look at the state of my flat. We need to talk about what is happening with American men. I was just watching the Call Your Daddy podcast with Millie Bobby Brown, and she was talking about how she met her husband, Jake Bon Jovi. And she was basically saying that they were friends for like a really long time. And for the longest amount of time, she had no idea whether this man actually liked her platonically or liked her more than that. Because although they were very good friends, he would never flirt with her. He would never show her any form of romantic interest, to the point where she said to her mum, "Mum, I think you need to sit in on one of our conversations because I need you to assess whether this man is actually flirting with me or not." And so her mum sat in and went to her meals. "I don't think this man is actually flirting with you in any way, shape or form." And it's only when Millie one day had the courage and was like, "Okay, I just need to let you know that I actually freaking like you. Sorry if this changes our friendship, but I need to tell you that I like you." And he was like, "Oh my God, you're so bold." And that's how they started a relationship, right? Bear in mind, I have noticed this when I go to the States myself. Like when I was in Manhattan earlier this year, I was in the clubs, and what the hell is going on? Okay, so not only do men not approach women in clubs in New York, but they don't even acknowledge you when you come and sit on the same table as them. Why am I joining your table and you are making eye contact with me and you're cutting your eye at me and looking away? In that particular case, it was just the acknowledgement of, "Yeah, you're right," and then keep it stepping. Like, I'm British, we are unfriendly as fuck, and you can't unfriendly us. You know, if you're gonna do that, that's a record-breaking achievement. And the fact that men in New York can do that is unbelievable. I was talking to my American friend about this, and he was saying, yeah, we do actually just have a bit of an American big problem. Like, there is just like a national problem. And this is happening in the celeb world as well, not just with the common folk. So what is happening with American men and the pursuit of women? I need to know.
Help me, because I keep telling myself that if I see a hot man out in the wild that I'll approach him, because I don't feel like I get approached, and I don't feel like I'm ugly enough to never be approached at all, and I don't feel like I'm hot enough to be too intimidating to approach. I feel like I should theoretically be right in the sweet spot, and yet I still don't get approached. So I feel like I need to take matters into my own hands, but the problem is that I'm a little... So when I do see a hottie out in the wild, I like look at him once and I'm like, that should do the trick. And obviously it doesn't do the trick. So I don't know what to do to reel him in. So somebody please tell me what I should be doing, because I'm sick of this.
I just got such a good idea. I'm gonna start taking men on dates and I'm gonna pay. Order whatever you want off the menu. I got this. And then I'm going to take you back to my house after, okay? And I'm going to ask you to mow my lawn because I paid for your dinner. The least you could do is mow the lawn. And then maybe sometimes it'll be clean the gutters out or hang these pictures or put together this furniture. I mean, men pay for dates and expect sex, so why can't I pay for the date and get labor?
This is not the threat that you think it is. You guys continue to try to play hardball with men, but in some ways, this would be a guarantee that a man would get something. Period. You pay, I'll give you something. Men make deals all the time. This would be right up their alley.
It's so funny to me when your ex starts dating someone 11 years younger because they can't get anyone their own age because they won't put up with that shit.
Girl, you're embarrassing yourself.
I am in genuine shock after reading almost 3,000 comments on my last video. Almost all of them from men validating what that guy said to me and validating that that was okay. I am so genuinely concerned that men think that that kind of behavior is okay. If that's the general consensus of how men today think, I'm out. I'm done. I'm giving up at this point. I'm going to be single, and that's going to be fine with me because I'm just so unbelievably shocked at the response. It's mind-blowing to me.
So for context, here is the original video.
One time I was talking to this guy and he was like, what do you like to do for fun? And I said, oh, I like to bake. I like to travel. I like to go shopping. I like to try new restaurants. What do you like to do for fun? And he goes, I like to...
And this is the problem that men are running into over and over again. You're only calling out the bad behavior of other men. That's it. No men help us. There are not men that really care about us. All men hate women. When there were literally men in the comments calling this dude out and holding him accountable for the silly things that he said. I don't get it.
I see a lot of women saying that men aren't pursuing them. They're not pursuing them anymore. They don't know what they have to do to get a man to pursue them. But listen, let me tell you something. Dating has changed so much post Me Too era. Men, especially younger generations of men, Gen Z, millennial generations, they are not going to pursue women the same way that they pursued women in the past because they don't want to come off as creepy, weird, whatever. Dating has changed. If you are a woman and you want a man, you are going to have to put some effort in. They're not going to chase you like they used to. Or it's not. Especially if you're dating in the Gen Z millennial range. Like, you're going to have to put some work in if you want a man. They're not going to be calling you, showing up to your house with flowers. That's just creepy now.
All right. Y'all, I have noticed something when I go out now. And I live in Houston, by the way. I have noticed that dudes out here do not approach women in the club. Well, I wouldn't even say the club because I don't go to clubs. But like lounges or like speakeasies or anything like that. I'd be like, do y'all want somebody to approach y'all? Because I'll be damned. I'm sorry. And I'm not approaching no man. I mean, I have a fork, but I'm not doing it. Baby, you gotta show some type of interest. Baby, we done locked the eyes. That mean that's your go time. Come on, green light, go. But like, other than that, like y'all don't do nothing. I be looking at y'all like, who the fuck y'all think is gonna come up here talking to y'all? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if y'all be feeling like y'all that not respect it, but like, I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that. I'm sorry. Like, men are like supposed to, you know, it ain't nothing wrong if a woman do, but like men are really supposed to, you know, be trying to holler at that. You is tripping.
This girl asked me, why don't guys chase girls anymore? Like, why don't they pursue girls like they used to? And it boiled down to one simple fact. The fear of frickin' rejection. That is horrible. And it's also confidence. Like, you could be the most handsome fly guy, but if you don't have confidence, you're done ski. So I think a lot of guys don't chase girls because they don't have the confidence, and then the fear of getting rejected just kills it all.
Okay, so I be seeing a lot of women saying nowadays, like, men don't really chase women like they used to. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Men not like they used to be. And it's like, nowadays, a lot of women ain't nothing to chase. Back in our grandma day and back in the day when women were provided for and when women were taken care of, a man actually had to put in a certain kind of work to get certain benefits from women. They had to marry a woman to have a baby with her. They had to marry her to get her in the house cooking and cleaning. Nowadays, women give a man everything for the bare minimum. Like, these men had to go to the strip clubs to see a girl undressed. Nowadays, women just do it for free just because they feel like they can. It's like women need to pick a lane. Like, you cannot be a 304 and a housewife. Y'all be talking about how y'all want to get tricked on and y'all don't care what men think, but then in the same breath, y'all talk about how y'all want to be taken care of and y'all want to be provided for. Like, y'all delusional. Like, y'all part of the problem. Like, men change because women change. Like, y'all not like y'all was back in the day at all.
We need to go back to men moving to girls in real life. When you're moving to a girl on the street, it's off the dome. You have to flow with it. And then obviously she might hit you with a spanner and you have to, you gotta think on your feet, baby. Now you get to sit down and think, oh, what should I say? You can't even ask for advice. Bro, how do I chat to this girl? So in terms of that on your feet game, ain't got it like that, yo. They ain't got the Flavor Flav like that, yo.
And also, you have to remember, when it's online, you can start speaking to a girl at 6 o'clock, take a break, go somewhere else. When you're talking to a girl on the street, you ain't got that.
You're a door salesman.
That's there and then.
Show me what you got. Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. You got 5 minutes. My boss is in 5 minutes. Sell me this pen. You had to perform. Nowadays, it's like, okay, cool. I will text her back in 2 hours. Then you'll now do 2-hour reply. Then she'll do 4-hour reply. A guy hasn't made me giggle in 5 minutes in a while. You know, there was back in the day when you talk to someone and be like, like within 5 minutes, like, you went from sorry, I got a man to, it's not like that anymore. The game has changed. The game is rigged.
I don't really think some of these women understand the concept of limitations. It's like the dunk contest when you're expecting the athletes to do something more extravagant, more wild every year, but they're still human. There's only so much they can do. There's only so far they can go.
I don't know what male gym goer needs to hear this, but please come up to us at the gym.
Fellas, they're trying to get us again, man. This is the second girl that's gone viral in the last month, talking about they want men to start approaching again in the gym. After y'all spent years calling men creeps for coming up and approaching you in the gym and talking about how you don't want to be disturbed. So listen, here's the solution. Drop the manual. Drop the manual. If you want men to approach you in the gym, tell them how they should do it. Tell them what signals to look out for with your body language that will let them know you are choosing them and you want them to approach you. Because with all the horror stories that have come out in the last few years, no man is just risking approaching you and being rejected, not only in person, but being rejected by hundreds of thousands or millions of people on the internet. And then being labeled a creep. Like, how do you even get that stain off your name? Y'all gotta pick, ladies. Do y'all want men to be real men and approach you and take initiative and all these different things? Or does that make us creepy? You can't have it both ways, ladies. You gotta pick one. And if you find a man attractive that bad and you really want to talk to him, why don't you just go talk to him? Men are friendly as hell. Just say hi. Hey, nice shoes. Hey, that was a pretty impressive lift. How long have you been working out? Or just do the trick. Hey, can you spot me? Hey, can you show me how to do this workout? And that'll start the conversation right there.
That's why I'm like, okay, and that's why I wanted to talk about this with you, because I'm like, if I feel this way, there's so many other people in the world that are feeling this way. And if anything, more and more as like social media becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and dating apps, the more people feel uncomfortable to talk to you in real life. And I'm like someone that's very, very much like passionate about like, I have Raya, but like I've never went on a date from a dating app. Not that I like judge it or anything. I just have this weird internal knowing that like I'm gonna meet someone in real life, like organically through friends. That's how I've always met everyone. But then now it's like the more people are going on social media, the more uncomfortable even some men are to like walk up to you. It's like I've seen guys stare at me like the whole night and I'm like, you are still never gonna find anything?
Isn't that crazy?
It's
They'll
so
just
annoying.
Stare, like as if you're supposed to make the first move.
Yeah, I'm like,
that is so normalized. I totally agree with you, because right now everyone is so behind the keyboards on the dating apps, like on the paywall platforms. Like there's so many ways that we're just disconnecting from other people and losing, honestly, that sense of like that social aspect, that social lubricant, whatever it is that makes you be able to go around a room and talk to strangers and all this, that confidence essentially. And
I can't stand a man that acts like he doesn't understand what's expected of him off the rip, and he will expect so many different things from you. That's the funny part about this. Oh my god, dating in this climate is just so freaking funny, because men will expect a laundry list of things from you. You know, they expect you to come dressed to the nines, you know, looking pretty and ready to listen to whatever they want to rant about or talk about themselves the whole time. Yet when you ask for something as simple as like opening up a door, or you shouldn't even have to ask for that, flowers, or for them to buy you something that you like, it's crickets. It's like you're speaking a foreign language to them. And I'm done. I'm about to start exclusively dating women.
So I was going back and forth with ChatGPT because I just wanted to make sure that I understood courting as it should be. And ChatGPT said this: you nailed this one. An exorbitant amount of money has to be put out in the first 1 to 3 dates, and at the end, the woman has the option to say, I had a nice time, but I'm not interested. For many men, that kind of one-sided investment, emotional, financial, and time-wise, becomes draining. It's like paying full price for a trial version of something that might never even be available. Paying full price for a trial version of something that might not ever be available. Pass.
I think I'm getting too good at getting rejected. I don't even care anymore. I think it's funny. It tends to always be the guys that I have to like convince myself to go on a date with, or like convince myself like they're probably not that bad. Like maybe one more date, maybe like the attraction will grow. Maybe they'll like be a deeper connection if I try a little harder. Like, do they know I'm feeling like that? So they're just gonna like reject me before I reject them? Cause like the guys I really like, they never reject me. But these little toad guys, they always just go around. It's just so funny.
You doing all this bragging. Where are the men that like you and you say that you like?
It's so funny to me how straight men are experiencing life so differently from the rest of us, because I was just talking to this man about a playlist that he has, and I was like, I love that you have Pink Pony Club on this playlist. Like it's so random, but it's so fun. I love that song. And he was like, oh yeah, like I love that song. It's so funny. Like it makes me laugh. And I was like, so funny? Makes you laugh? That song makes me so emotional. I can only listen to it sometimes because it makes me cry. And he was like, why are we crying? What, like, that song is so funny. It makes me laugh. What are we laughing at?
I want to give a shout out to all the men in the comments roasting her for trying to make herself the victim. Go away.
Just like anything, dating requires practice, and if you're still single, there's a good chance you haven't learned the skills that you need to be considered attractive by a stranger. Assuming that you're meeting your qualifying candidates on dating apps, that's the first place to start is one, who are you choosing to go out on dates with? Do they meet all your basic qualifications? Really ask yourself this before you spend any time or money going to get to know a new person. Thought number 2, prepare before you go and meet this stranger. They are a stranger. They know nothing about you. So get your elevator pitch as to who you are prepared in a somewhat broad way that's not overwhelming on the first meeting. Once you know who you are and you're confident enough to explain who you are to this stranger, hopefully you have enough bandwidth to ask them questions and softly get to know them too, such that they are interested enough to have a second date with you.
Forgot how fast karma works. Yesterday, I didn't pick up the dog poo. I ran out of bags. Today, as I'm walking the dog, what do I step in? That same exact poo. It was waiting for me. It was like, girl, you're gonna pay. And I did so quick.
Sometimes I wonder why guys don't approach girls more in public if they're interested, and I think I figured it out this weekend. So Friday night, I'm on the T and I'm trying to get down to Dorchester to meet up with some friends. And I'm on the T and I sit down, and a couple stops later, a guy comes and sits down next to me. And now, as much as I say I want a meet cute and I would love for a guy to talk to me in public, I'm pretty closed off. Like, I'm sitting there on my phone, I have a resting face, I'm not approachable. But this guy's sitting next to me for a couple stops, and at one point he looks over and he says, "Can I ask you your name?" And I look at this man with a straight face, no hesitation, and I go, "No." And I turn back to my phone. And then I have to proceed to sit next to him for the next 4 stops. And now, I wasn't attracted to the guy, and I'm not saying I need to be nice, but I think I could have been nicer than that. And now, I want to say I have mad respect for this guy, because it takes a lot of guts to go up to someone and just put yourself out there like that. And I really hope this doesn't discourage the rest of you from shooting your shot and going up to someone. But all I'm going to say is, I get why you don't, and I get why you think it's scary, and I'm sorry.
I saw a girl post on here talking about how men with no money are the ones that have the biggest fear of women stealing their money or, like, you know, losing their money to a woman. It just made me think about the time that my fiance, who we'd been together for about 7 years, refused to get married because he thought that women marry men to steal their money. That is why women marry men, is to steal their money. But I was the breadwinner.
And what's funny is that some of you guys be the breadwinner, but don't be bringing no bread, mayo, ham, cheese, no nothing home. Y'all bring yourselves home steak and potatoes. Y'all order yourselves out, but y'all never give the man nothing. Oh, he should be able to be doing that for me. Okay, then, if you're the breadwinner, you want to talk that talk, be the breadwinner. Be the breadwinner then. Y'all tell it men, oh, if you're going to be the provider, then provide. And then you be in the position of the provider and don't provide. Oh, well, it's different for me. I'm a woman. I keep my money. Okay, then sit down and shut up.
Women and white women, they have the same chance of becoming more wealthy or doing better in life until they start dating a black man, because they pull them back down into poverty. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about black men, because y'all know I'm married to one.
She said something bad about black men and said she didn't say anything bad about the black men, then proceeds to say that she married a black man. You can't tell me dating coaches aren't destroying the black community at all. They're getting just as bad as the influential rappers. And it won't stop unless the people stop consuming it, right? I seen a dude, I guess Myron from Fresh and Fit had like a standoff in the college or whatever. He walked up to Myron and told him like, hey bro, you destroyed my life. I listened to you. You told me to sleep with multiple women all the time, and you stopped telling me to date black women, and you just told me to be a promiscuous man, and that destroyed me, and I didn't heal until I found Jesus Christ. He also ended up getting married, and he got a daughter or a son on the way with his wife. So he's like, listen, bro, your advice is garbage. You're telling men to destroy themselves and devalue themselves. And I have yet to see, I've seen few women say that same thing about Shira 7 and other women that tell other women to date men for simply money. I have not seen it yet. Then the comments in her video, it's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, bro. But it is what it is. The internet isn't a real place. It's not real life. So just take it with a grain of salt.
I'm 29 years old. I've been single for over 4 years by choice, and I want to tell you why. I see a lot of videos from women trying to understand where the good men are at and why men are not approaching anymore. And the primary argument that I see from men is because they want to enjoy their peace and they want to focus on themselves. And now I can't speak for all men, but I can at least give you my personal reasons why I choose to be single. The first reason is I live in a small town and my options are limited. I tried the whole online dating and a long distance thing years ago, and it's too much. Not that I'm not open to anything happening or meeting somebody new in my area, but I don't fully know if I want to settle down where I'm currently at. So it's hard for me to plant roots here. And that leads me to my second reason, and that's I don't feel like I'm in a place to be settling down right now. I have my priority right now is to be more established in my life. My main focus is to build something long lasting and then focus on settling down with the right person. I feel like if I meet somebody right now, my focus will be split. It'll be hard for me to really pursue the thing that I'm passionate about, really pursue my calling and my purpose. And I feel like a lot of men my age feel that way. I feel like there's a lot of us who feel like we haven't fully grown up yet, or we're just not in a place right now to meet that person or be with somebody and feel like that we can fully provide. It's not that most men are closed off and never gonna date again. I just think once we get to a better place, then we'll be more open to a relationship. I personally, I'm trying to do big things. I want to lead an exceptional life. I don't fit in with most people here in my hometown. So if I want to lead an exceptional life, I have to be an exceptional person, and that means I'm not going to fit in, and I'm looking for an exceptional partner, and that's rare. So I'm willing to wait.
Honestly, sounds like what a lot of men would say. They would rather enjoy their peace. But on the other side, with what society has been telling men, well, you're not good enough. Well, I got 90% of the stuff that I need. Still not good enough. You need at least 95 to 97%. So men, at that point in time, they're like, you know what? If 90% isn't good enough, if 80% isn't good enough, and you're not even at 70%, I'd just rather stay single. Yeah, maybe I'll find somebody one day, but man, with the stipulations and the standard that you guys just throwing out there, just willy-nilly, for what? Why would I be involved in that? Why would I want to be a part of that? I think I'm going to pass.
Like maybe ever, which is just insane to think about. Like I can name a couple occurrences where they have, but it was like people from Europe, and they're like a different breed of people, okay? So I feel like the culture in America is way different. Guys do not want to approach you, not because of how pretty you are or how you look, but it's really because they're scared of you. And then us women over here who are single are thinking like, we look amazing we did our makeup, we chose the perfect outfit. Why aren't all these guys coming up to us? Even if we're not into them, why don't they just come up? Just to like make us feel good about ourselves. Okay, now I want you to think of the perspective of a guy. I'll never know what's in a man's head, but I have a pretty good idea from like my guy friends and going out a lot. Guys are intimidated by you, okay? They don't all have that courage or charisma, or
they're not intimidated by you. They know how you are, and they know that it's basically a sport at the bar. Like she admitted, and I tell you, they always do, they always admit it. Why don't you just come up to us and make us feel better about ourselves? Like, we're gonna reject you, but approach us anyway. And that's exactly why they don't want to. They don't want to be your little toy to mess around with, to flirt with, and enjoy, being desired, only to, give them a fake number or what have you. And the other thing is I think there are some men, like I said, who are mostly done. They're out there and they're checking things out, but they're noticing red flags. A big red flag I'm hearing is they go to the bar every weekend.
My gym crush hasn't been at the gym for 3 weeks. 3 fucking weeks. I'm like kind of losing my mind a little bit. Like where to find Joe? Where'd he go? I swear I was like getting ready to like say hi to him. I swear. I told myself that probably every day for the last like 2 weeks while he's been gone, and I'm like, I'm gonna finally work up the courage to like say hi to him in passing, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finally do it. But I don't know if I ever see him again, if I'm actually gonna have the courage to do that, to be honest. In my head, I've already played it out. It's happened in my brain. It's just the reality hasn't caught up to me yet. I'm not even gonna lie though, there's like a million dudes at the gym that like look very similar to him and dress very similar to him, but they just don't do it for me the way he does. To be honest, like in my mind, I'm always thinking like, oh, like Stu's like the Walmart version of my gym crush. Like, he doesn't hit the same. He just doesn't hit the same. I miss Fine though. I think about him all the time. I think I'm going a little bit psychotic. The limerence is kind of crazy on this one. I literally asked my ChatGPT today, like, what if he was the one and he got away? And then I caught myself in the crazy. I'm like, I don't even know this dude's name. What the f am I saying? Like, what? Where is this coming from? He did offer to help me with the cable notches one time. I still think about it. I like half smiled at him like 2 weeks ago. I was like, this is progress. And he half smiled back. So that's where I'm at. So we're basically married. That's basically that's my romantic update on my life.
Behavior like this amongst black children does not happen unless a black woman says that it's okay. Let's be honest. If the father was around, this would not be happening. Not only did a black woman record this video, but a black woman posted it online for millions of people to see. And not only did she post it online for millions of people to see, but she allowed these girls, these children, to TWERK in front of adults. What are we doing? And it's time that we clean up our culture. And when people begin to scold her and tell her, what you're doing is wrong, take this video down, you're making the children unsafe. This is what she had to say. When you correct the behavior of a black woman, she will always meet you with adversity. As a matter of fact, God himself cannot leave his throne, come out of heaven onto earth and tell black women what to do, because then she is still going to have a million reasons as to why she's the victim and why she cannot do it, because she did nothing wrong. I say it all the time, but I'm gonna say it again. Women are the #1 groomers of children. A man can't do anything without a woman allowing it. Let's be real. You are opening the doors for predators.
Protecting black children looks a lot like not allowing young black girls to dance like that amongst adults. Protecting black children looks like maintaining a child and making sure that they stay in a child's place. I don't know when black people got away from children being in a child's place, but I used to get slapped up from even looking in my mama's mouth when she was talking. Never is it acceptable for young black girls, for any young girl, to be dancing like that in front of adults. It's already wrong what Miss Shirley doing. It's already wrong. But this right here is disgusting behavior. And for you to get offended when people are correcting you and telling you to take this video down and not seeing that people want to protect your daughter, because obviously you could care less. You play victim and act as if you were doing it. And this is why I say, just because the person is able to make a child does not mean that they should. Pregnancy and parenthood should not be a right. It needs to be like a privilege or something. You have to work for it. Because some of you are not fit. This is unacceptable. A lot of these mothers, and you know, we talk a lot in amongst our community about a lot of these mothers being jealous of their daughters. This is a trait of a jealous mother. Instead of teaching your daughter to be better than you, instead of teaching your daughter how to be a woman, how to be a lady, you're allowing her to follow in the same exact footsteps you went down. This is fatherless behavior, you guys. Pay attention.
Let me try to sidestep a lot of what's happening with my words. But you see that these young ladies are dancing in a way that they probably shouldn't be dancing, and I had to blur that out for YouTube guidelines. But I just included this little clip here because they continue to tell us that men are predators. Women are predators too. A woman in the comments said that. Y'all think it's funny to put y'all's young ladies out here. Where are the men? We need father figures. No, you need to find some common sense. You need to stop doing stupid stuff like that. Sure, young ladies need their father. Absolutely. They need their parent. It'd be great if they had both parents. But in some situations, that ain't the case, right? So you're raising these young ladies and young men on your own. But why in the world would you think to have them doing that? It's one thing and a terrible thing to have them dress in a certain kind of way. Oh, you got a little two-piece on, underwear in certain places that it shouldn't be on a child. All right. Y'all gonna go out there, act a fool, and place these little babies in a space that they don't belong and wonder why they are vulnerable and set up for attack. At some point in time, we got to start having some sort of penalty for this type of behavior and putting your child in danger like this.
You are not being pursued because you are expensive. And I'm not just talking finances. For a really long time, I felt like, what is wrong with me? Why is it that men do not pursue me? I am literally always told how much I am liked and loved by the men around me. The flirting. Gosh, the flirting. So just a lot. However, nobody wants to set up a date. Nobody wants to go out. It is just admiration, but literally from afar. And for a long time, I felt like, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. Like, you know, I also got the good girl thing. Like, you're just so nice. You're just so good. Like, and I'm like, what does that even mean? But the reality is, y'all, the reality is they cannot afford you. I see it like being an expensive piece of art, or just like a priceless statue in a museum. Your difference can be explored. Your beauty can be explored. Everything that sets you apart from every other person, place, or thing around you can be explored, but unable to be purchased. And if you are going to purchase it, it's gonna cost a lot. And that's how I felt. I felt like everyone would just admire me from afar. Like, I like you, but I gotta keep my distance from you. Why? Because some people do not have the emotional capacity, the mental capacity, the spiritual capacity to handle you. And of course, the financial and everything else, child. And because of this, I started to think, well, maybe there's something that I need to do to just not lower my standard, but make myself seem more accessible. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, why would I do that? There is no reason on earth that you should be lowering your standard or changing yourself
to be able to be affordable for someone who won't go get the money, won't work for the money to have what it is that they want to have. You remain the same price, you remain the same person, and you wait until the right person who can afford you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and all of those things, you wait until that person has the guts to come and get you. But there is nothing wrong with you. Now, we got our things, but there's nothing wrong with you. Men are not pursuing you because you're not worthy of being pursued. Some people just don't have it, and that's not your problem.
You know, I get having standards, and I think most men do. I think it's, once again, you guys think too much of yourself. Why aren't men pursuing me? Why am I always a friend that men flirt with? They hit on, but they don't want me. I don't know. Maybe there's something about you that they don't like. Oh, it couldn't be anything about me. Couldn't it though? Couldn't it though? Maybe there's something that you need to change about you. Isn't that what y'all say to a lot of men out here? When a man is saying, man, what is it about me? I'm not that bad of a person. I don't be out here following women doing weird stuff. Yeah, but until you start calling out other men and holding men accountable, then you're not going to be attractive, and you're going to be a part of the problem. Part of the problem for not actively getting in a man's face that I don't even know. I didn't even know he was doing that. Yeah, but we brought it to your attention, so go ahead and get in his face. I don't even know the man. So what you're telling me is you're sassy. What you're telling me is you're a coward. Who is going to be the boys? Sassy man apocalypse. I'm going to have to group you in with all of the other men because you're not doing what I want you to do. Really? Really? So there's things that I have to improve on that I didn't even think I had to improve on. I thought I was great. No, you don't have enough money. Go back to the lab. I'm supposed to eat that. And going back to the lab and get my money right. You don't have your credit right. Going back to the lab. You don't have a car. Going back to the lab. You don't have your own house. You staying with your mama in her basement. Going back to the lab. A woman can have all of these things wrong with her and still be perfect. Just as long as you know how to put on a full beat, a full face of makeup. You all right. You fantastic. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Really. Again, it's okay to have standards. It's fine to have preferences. But when y'all start getting weird and putting weird stuff out in the atmosphere and expecting men to acquiesce just because you yapping and running your mouth, I'm going to need you to come on back down to the world below.
I just went to the gym and I was in the middle of my workout and this man comes up to me, asked me to take my headphones off, and I'm like, oh, he's like wondering how much longer I have on this machine. I have like 2 more sets, let me just tell him. And then he proceeds to tell me something along the lines of, I didn't want to watch you make awkward eye contact, but you're so pretty. I love what you're doing here. A preacher curl with no weight. I don't have any plates on there. It's too heavy for me. So I was like, where is this conversation going? For whatever reason, he just proceeds to ask me what I do for a living. I say I work in influencer marketing. He goes, oh, I run the #1 something something in the urban space. I'm #1 in the world. Okay, cool. Then he proceeds to start explaining social media and influencer marketing stuff to me, talking about how I should be an influencer because of XYZ. I told him I wasn't. But starts to proceed to like just mansplain it to me. And I'm like, I do this for a living. I run influencer marketing campaigns. I work with brands every day. I know what you're talking about. You don't need to explain it to me. So that was weird. And then he tells me, we should connect. I'm #1 in the world. I say, I don't live here. He goes, that's okay, I travel. I go to the UK. Okay. Cool. I tell him, no, I don't want to give out my phone number, my Instagram. That's what he asked for, my phone number and my Instagram. And I was like, no. He was like, oh, my Instagram. Here's my username, if in case you decide to be brave and like follow me and message me. He goes, I don't think you're going to do it. And I understand women have to be hyper vigilant. Yes, we do. Why are you coming up to me in the gym in the middle of my workout to try to explain my job to me? And if you want to keep it strictly professional, why are you leading with, I didn't want to watch you, but you're so pretty? I don't know. Like, it's just like, maybe he didn't have bad intentions. But I don't want a random man coming up to me in the middle of my workout saying, I didn't want to watch you, but you're so pretty. Don't watch me. This is not a place for you to watch me. No. It was weird. I didn't like that. Don't come up to me at the gym. Come up to me later. Not in the middle of my workout. Like, if I'm walking around the gym, maybe. But not in the middle of my workout. Like,
Tell me you don't know how to be social and communicate without telling me you don't know how to be social and communicate. This is basically how you would make a connection. Let's say, for the sake of argument, this man botched the introduction by saying, oh, I love what you're doing here, which in my opinion is not even that weird of a thing to say. But what you could do is chuck a little bit and say, okay, or what do you mean by that? And crack a joke or something like that to kind of make light of the weirdness if you think it's that weird. But let's move on. He then proceeds to ask you a question and you tell him what you do, and then he proceeds to say, oh shoot, yeah, I'm in the same space. I definitely understand what you're talking about. That's called trying to make a connection. That's what most people do at networking events. In so many words, instead of talking about whatever he wants to talk about, he's listening to what you're saying and trying to get on your type of time, trying to get on your vibe. But you don't know how to communicate, which you think that you do, right? Proceeds to say, oh yeah, man, I'm definitely in the same space. I understand what you're talking about. And you, instead of saying, oh man, that's fantastic, why don't you take my Instagram down? Let's connect after my workout. Because it sounds like you really don't actually want to be bothered, right? Hey man, take my Instagram down. Let's connect. Bad at communication. Instead, you get on here trying to trash the man, trying to shame the man for quite honestly just trying to socialize with you. That's it. That's what it sounds like. Having a normal conversation. Man don't know you. And instead of staring indefinitely at you, instead of standing off in the corner and just looking at you, he comes up and say, hey man, I didn't want to stare at you. I think you're beautiful, man. What do you do? Well, I'm in a social media space. I'm a strategist or whatever. Really, man, me too. I'm number one in this area, yada, yada, yada. Hey, man, you should do influence. You should be an influencer, man. You got to look for it and everything. And you still come, instead of saying thank you, instead of saying on a positive note, hey, man, this guy said, he bothered me during my workout, so I really didn't like that. But, he's asking for my Instagram and, he's doing all these other things. He was saying all these other things, man. So that might be a start of me starting my, getting my journey together. I'm a C. He says I got the looks or whatever it is. So you might see me posting some content. And when you do, come and give me a comment. Come and give me a like. You didn't do that. Like I said, you came in here to trash him. Instead, let's go back to what you could have done. Take my Instagram down. Let's connect later. If he comes back again and he says, hey man, I would really like to get to know you. Listen, I appreciate it. I'm flattered, but take my Instagram down. I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to get the workout done. Let me get back to you afterwards. Hit me up afterward. I'm gonna check it. Hit me up afterward. Right? If he comes back a third time, if he continues to bother you, right there in the same, and he don't have to go and come back, right there in the same thing after you've told him I'm working out. Now you have to stop and deal with the problem. Now you have to face the problem head on, which, surprise, surprise, men have to do. That's what y'all keep on telling men to do. Oh man, why don't you stop being a coward, being sassy, and just face the problem? Hey, listen. Let me take off my headphones. Hey, listen, I appreciate that you love what I'm doing here, but I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to work out. I want to connect with you, but a little bit later on. And to be honest with you, me trying to do my workout and you continuing to kind of, be right here is kind of like making me not want to connect, to be honest with you, right? If he gets belligerent, you're in a gym. Hey, listen, brother, I'm going to go to the front desk on you. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe with you doing that. and go on up there. Hey man, this man keeps on bothering me. You know what? Let me remove myself from the situation. That's what a man would do. If a man's not going to do that, a man has the power and the strength to say, hey, listen, either you get out of my face or it's going to be some furniture moving in here. Oh, well, I'm going to take you down. You might do that. You just might. But brother, I just established a boundary with you and you didn't listen to it. You didn't respect it. So now I'm going to have to do whatever is in my power to make you, well, I'm going to make sure you, it don't matter. I'm going to enforce the boundary. But as a woman, maybe you don't have that strength. So maybe you say, hey, I need your help over here with this guy. He keeps on bothering me. And if he keeps on doing that, kick that man out. You don't even so you can keep on coming to your gym. But if you don't, hey, dad, brother, cousin, nephew, I got this man bothering me at the gym. I don't feel safe. Could you come work out with me? Well, we can't, but let's do this. Or maybe go to another gym. Or, oh, well, I shouldn't have to go to another gym. Maybe, maybe not. But changes have to be made. That's what men understand. This is the reality of the situation. Is it optimal for you to have to do that? Absolutely not. Should you be able to go to the gym? Absolutely. The gym that you want, that you love? Absolutely. But men understand adaptation. They understand the reality of things versus what things should be and what you want things to be. Now, I'm just giving you, and this man was nowhere near this. I'm just giving you steps and solutions to what you could do in the event that that man would not take a hint, right? But that man took a hint. That man was nice and he was respectful to you. And you still got on here and trashed him. And when women say, just come up to me, the worst that can be said is no. This is what you get. Trashed and shamed on the internet for trying to connect and have a normal conversation. Get a grip.